Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Love Letters to Broadway podcast, the podcast that gives you Broadway tips, tricks, advice, and we share our thoughts, our obsession with new shows, and all of our adventures. My name is Skylar,
And I am Michelle.
and this week we have something so exciting to talk about. We're going to do our usual hyperfixations, some Broadway news. It was Tony nomination weeks, so we have thoughts. um Lots of thoughts,
Mhm.
and we on what day was it? Thursday.
Thursday night, which, by the way, because I know you all listened to this, last week you heard our manifestation. Skylar manifested this last week on the podcast.
Yes, so last week I said at the end, I said I'm manifesting we see real women have curves on Thursday, and then I randomly included a lottery win, and that's what happened is I won the lottery for Real Women Have Curves for Thursday night, and we were front row center, and our lives were changed.
Amazing. Literally changed. It was such an incredibly beautiful show.
Yep.
I know we're going to go over our Tony's thoughts, but I do think the show was snubbed. I'm
Oh
just going to
yeah.
put that out there right now. So yeah, we're going to do a review of that today, but we're not going to do like our typical review where we go by category because the two of us just love the show so much. It wouldn't make sense to break it down by numbers.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about our thoughts on it
We
instead.
were just gonna yap about it because we knew we were gonna like it, but we left in love with it and like changed. Like that's what we kept
Yeah.
saying, like this is what theater is for. Like that feeling where your life was changed because of live theater. It was insane. It was one of the best shows, honestly.
I think it was one of the best shows. I think it was definitely one of the best shows of the season, and I'm stunned that it's not nominated for Best New Musical,
Yeah,
especially compared to some of the options, but
we'll get into
I'm
it.
just a little petty.
Yeah. So do you want to start with your hyperfixations?
Sure. So I was actually just thinking about my list, and I feel like you're going to be a little bit surprised with my list this week because it's not my usual types of things that I do on here.
Okay.
So and my number three spot, Skylar knows this already, but I don't know if I've ever spoken about it on the podcast. Besides being your Broadway aficionado, I'm also a cowgirl. So
Oh
I
God.
take line dancing classes. I go out line dancing, and that's my I love it. I find it relaxing, but I also find it like fun. And I love that like no two dances are ever really the same, but they're also the same enough, whatever. So this week in line dancing class, we did this number called Banjo. And the song is so much fun. It's Banjo featuring Cowboy Troy remixed by Hard Knocks. And
Yeah.
it's like, let's go to the banjo, and then the banjo, banjo, and I just love it. Um, so if any of you happen to like country music, you could look that up. I would gladly give you more of my country recommendations. Like, of course, I love Shake It from Country Girl, Shake It For Me Girl by Luke Bryan, One Too Many, by Luke Combs. Um, there's a lot of options. But yeah, I've been feeling banjo all week. And it's a fun dance. I could teach it to you if you want.
No, I hate country. Moving on.
You gotta give it a chance, man. Okay.
No, it's a hard
Then,
pass.
uh, I'll get you
Also,
line
sorry
dancing
if
with
you hear
me.
me sniffling. I'm trying not to, but I got by allergies. So I feel bad if
She's
you can
been
hear me.
sniffling all week. Um, then my number two spot. Have you seen that video that went viral and it's now a trend on TikTok to put the song pop music?
No.
So pop music is a song from like the 70s, 80s, and it goes pop, pop, pop music, and it's like the radio, stereo, movie with the suitcase,
Oh,
I'm living
yes,
in a
yes.
disco. I've been just listening to that song all week because I just
There's
happen to really like the song.
there's like a dance to it, right?
Yeah, and it's like radio, stereo. I tried
Yeah.
to learn it.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, like you have to be
Very
like
robotic.
very robotic. It's a lot of people don't do the trend correctly. From what
Yeah.
I've seen, like you really need to be a trained dancer. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I've been into that song all week. I think it's because I just keep watching videos of the dance.
Yeah.
But so that's on my list this week. And then in my number one spot, um, we found a bootleg version of Josh as Pony
Oh yeah.
online. Like, we found it on TikTok. So I've been listening to his version of Great Expectations all week.
Hmm.
It's just so beautiful. You know, it's interesting. Like now we've seen the trifecta. We've seen all three of them. And you really, the more you listen to all three of them, they all do the role so differently. And he just has such like a clearness to his voice that I love. Like I love you could really hear every word and like I think you could tell that he really like takes time to interpret it when he sings, and I like that a lot. But it's interesting. 'Cause I remember you and me were talking the other day, and you were like, his voice is great because you really understand, he enunciates. But what's interesting is like Brody, for example, like he interprets the poem differently, and he's the best one at saying like the poem and the meaning of it. You know, they're all so different. And Trevor's like kind of a combo of the two, but also has his own roughness added to it. Like how we noticed the other night that Trevor comes out with the cigarette, but Brody and Josh don't. Like, I don't know, it's interesting. But yeah, I've been listening specifically to Josh's version.
Interesting.
Um, and then in terms of other hyperfixations this week, so where we left you guys off, last week Skylar and I were either going to go to a show or we were going to go on a work and hunt.
Yes.
So we ended up going on a work and hunt and we failed at that. But we found these other bags from TJ Maxx and Marshalls that were Aldo brand and they were gorgeous.
Shocking.
Shocking. They function well. They're stylish. There's a lot of room in them. There's a phone pocket. And the two of us both just fell in love with those bags and we bought matching purses. Skylar
Yeah.
bought one and I've now bought two because I fell in love with it. So that's definitely a hyperfixation this week, those bags.
And they're only like $30. 30, right? Or
I,
40.
I think we paid 43 with taxes.
But it's like it looks like almost like a designer bag. Like you wouldn't think it's just like Aldo.
You never would know.
Like
And
it's
honestly, I think it's more stylish than the work-ins.
honestly, I think so too.
Yeah.
And they have little, you got a twilly.
I got a Twilly. I got the Twilly I wanted.
Yeah. And the other ones have charms to it.
That
Really.
reminds me, yesterday I have to retie it. Yesterday I was walking and I saw my Twilly started untie. I gotta
Oh
fix the
no.
bow.
You gotta fix the bell.
I gotta fix it today.
Yeah.
You just reminded me.
Yeah, so we didn't see a show, but we had fun shopping.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like sometimes you need that. We had delicious kava. Skylar took me to kava for the first time.
Love kava. Love. Yeah, that's yummy.
It was delicious. You know, another hyperfixation this week, because I know we always name some random ones. So I would say it's the purses. I've also become hyperfixated over Just Salad. I've eaten food from there now every single day this week, and that's a problem. But I keep getting the same meal. It's like a warm rice bowl with balsamic vinaigrette, cucumbers, carrots, crispy onions, and the new braised chicken. Delicious. If you have a Just Salad near you, try it.
Yeah.
Oh, and feta cheese. You gotta have the feta cheese.
Love-
And then other hyperfixations. Oh, I wanted to give you a Toontown update
Yeah.
because I feel like you will find this funny.
Hmm.
Because remember you said like in the past I've started fights on Toontown. I've started this. Yesterday, apparently I somehow got whipped into joining a cookie squad.
What is that?
So I walk in to go do this battle, like when my
Mhm.
character walks in, Princess Cookie Honey Dazzle. And this girl private messages me. She adds me and then private messages me and she goes, "Oh my God, it's another cookie." Her name was Little Cookie.
Oh
And she
no.
goes, "Oh my God, it's another cookie. Us cookies have to stick together. No one understands us cookies." Like, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Um, and she's like, after this, I'm gonna introduce you to the other cookies.
What the heck?
I
What?
was
There's a
like,
band of cookies? What?
what other cookies? So we finished the battle, and then she goes teleport to me. So I teleport to her in the game, and I get there, and there's another cookie, rainbow choco cookie.
What?
Um, and then they're like, Cookie Squad, Cookie Squad. Oh my God, we have to stick together. New besties, new besties. And I'm just like,
What?
what did I get whipped into? And then we are in another battle, and all of a sudden this other girl teleports to us, and they're like, they keep saying there's another cookie, there's another cookie, and I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
we're in a battle, this girl teleports to us, and then her name was Cookie Dough.
Oh.
But DOE dough, like cookie
Oh,
dough.
DOE. Fancy.
DOE. Yeah, very fancy. And she goes, in all capitals, she goes, oh my God, there's another cookie. And I'm
What?
just like, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, hi.
Oh my God.
And then they all kept screaming out, Cookie Squad, Cookie Squad, Cookie Squad. And I was just like, I just wanted a quiet evening, defeating some cogs. And somehow I
And
ended
now you're.
up in like a cult.
Oh my God. That's so funny. That's
I
crazy.
thought you would enjoy that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I even took a picture of like the Cookie Squad to show you.
Oh my God.
I was like, I need this for reference.
Yeah, what the
This is
heck?
insane.
Like a little cult.
A little cult of cookies. So yeah, Cookie made some new friends last night.
Look at that.
Look
Cookie
at that.
squad.
The
That's
Cookie
crazy.
Squad. Imagine someone from the Cookie Squad actually listens to this podcast. They're gonna be like,
That's me. That's
that's
crazy.
me.
Do you have any shows or anything, or that's it?
For television shows, I've been watching that new Netflix show Battle Camp, which stars like all the Netflix reality stars.
Oh,
And they come on, it's a competition series to win $250,000.
oh my God.
I know, but some of the challenges they had to do was crazy. Like they had to eat bugs and stuff. Like
Oh
they had to
no.
eat a tarantula.
No.
Yeah, if you get queasy, this probably is not the show for
Yeah.
you. Um, but I actually just finished that. I think it was yesterday. I saw the finale, and that was fantastic. So I would recommend watching it.
Yeah.
Um, Other shows, I think that's pretty much it. Like that's been I've definitely been hyperfixating over that because I finished the whole series in like 4 days.
Okay. So that's good. That's a good week.
Yeah. How about you?
Okay. So song wise, I've been back in like Jonas Brothers, but also like Sunset for some reason this week.
Mm.
Um so at three is Take a Breath by the Jonas Brothers. I love that song, and when they played it live when they did their big like reunion after they broke up for a while, like I was like sobbing because that song is like it's just so important. Like the one of the lyrics is like people chains and promises are broken, clouds can move, the skies are wide open, but don't forget to take a breath. So it's like one of those songs that I think if you're going through something you really listen to. I wish that they would re-release them singing it now because I want to hear their voices now singing it
I
rather than
don't
because
think I know it.
it was in the album with When You Look Me in the Eyes. So
Mm.
that was what like a long time ago.
Now that's a song I've always loved. So
Yeah, that
pretty.
one's a good one. Um but that song is just so important. And I do go on YouTube sometimes and find them singing it now. Um but yeah, so if you're going through something, you can always listen to that. Jonas Brothers always come through. Um, at two, again, Sunset. I don't know why. I think I just really want to go again. So that's why I've been listening to it a lot. What's Going on, Joe? I love that song. I think it's wild. Joe's breakdown during that when he's talking to Betty. And he's like, you should just go to already because I'm not going to give you the life you want. I can't be a husband. I'm stuck here with this psycho. Like, so you go live your life, but she's taking it as you said you loved me, now what? So it's kind of
Yeah.
Um, I just really like that song.
It's very
And then,
toxic. Very toxic.
yeah, because like when you think about it, like they were both wrong. Like Joe was
Mm-hmm.
wrong and she was wrong. Like you could feel a little bad for Joe, but like he also was playing the field a little bit.
No, he was, but also Betty was too. She was
Yeah,
engaged to be married. Her fiance's off in another state, and then she cheats on him with his best friend.
literally.
Like it was interesting. I don't know. I feel like when every time we go, I never felt real sympathy for Betty because I was
Yeah,
like, oh, that's really effed up what you're doing. The only time I felt sympathy for her was last time we went when we saw Sydney as Betty. I
yeah.
think somehow she played it a little bit differently where I actually like felt bad for the character.
Well,
But normally I don't feel bad.
I think Cindy looks so young. So it's
Mm,
like you kind of not that saying it's okay what she did, but you kind of understand what she did because like when you're that young and being toyed between, oh, let me just get married and have that life of a wife, a mom, and whatever, but also like the temptation of, you know, still going out with men and like seeing that other men find you attractive. So you kind of feel a little sympathy, at least I felt for her in that time because although you shouldn't cheat, you kind of understand like the duality between wanting that life, but also being like, man, this guy finds me attractive. I have a connection with this guy too. Like, what do I do?
hmm
Um,
Yeah.
so that's kind of yeah. Sorry, my nose. At one, is Let's Do Lunch from Sunset.
Oh,
I
I love
just
that
love it.
number.
But also, I was thinking about it because I was going between that and this time next year. I also get annoyed that they transition into the next song so quick because I want to like give a standing ovation to the ensemble,
Yeah, I feel bad. The ensemble never really gets applause until the
right?
bows.
Because it's like the way that they all just like connect, like it's insane. And it annoys me that they move on so quickly to the next song because I'm like, I want to clap so badly. I think
That's
we
the
have.
I feel like Jamie Lloyd directed it that way on purpose. I think he wanted to be like continuous, as if you were watching a film, you wouldn't really applaud, you wouldn't really stop to applause like during a film, you know?
Yeah.
But
But yet
it's
Nicole did
interesting.
number.
Yeah, but I think Nicole's numbers were like forced to allow an
Yeah.
applause because they're like some of the most well-known songs in all of theater.
Yeah.
Like, and same with Sunset Boulevard, like the main song. I think those are the only three songs, if you think about it, that really get an applause every night.
Can
And I
we
feel
go
like it was
again?
on purpose. I would like to.
I want to go so I'm like
Yeah.
really like hyper fixated on that and always Hadestown, but we're going to Hadestown, so excited.
I can't wait.
Um,
I can't wait.
so yeah, that's been my week. Very heavy in Sunset. Um, but yeah. Reading wise, I'm doing the Hunger Games series. I literally was reading this morning. I only have 50 pages left of the second book. I'm like breezing through these things and I'm really obsessed with it. Which I know I'm like 10 years too late, but actually none of it got spoiled for me because I never watched the movies. I never seen any spoilers so far. So,
Are you like shocked at things? Like, are there things that you're like,
yeah.
holy poop?
And I'm like before, I was like, I was thinking about the TikToks that I had to edit, and I was like, no, I'm
Mm.
gonna read real quick because I was like,
Mm.
I can't. Um, but yeah, it's shockingly, I thought I was gonna like it, but I didn't think I would be so like addicted.
Mm.
So I'm excited to keep reading that. Um, other than that, there is a show that I want to watch because I see all these thirst traps. Have you seen on Netflix, which I think I'm gonna watch it today because I'm not doing anything. Um, what is the name? My friend keeps sending me Pulse on Netflix. She keeps sending me
Mm-mm.
thirst traps of this show, and it looks so good.
Pulse? What is it about? Let me look this up.
I think it's like, well,
Oh, I
Usually
see. It's
it's
like a
books.
medical thing. I'm not into those medical shows.
And then there's another show though. Shoot, whatever.
Oh,
I
you know who stars in it? The lady that we just saw in Real Women Have Curves, Justine Machado, that
oh,
got
that's
nominated for
cool.
the Tony.
Uh,
Justine.
um, there's also another show that I keep meaning to watch because if you read the Chestnut Falls series by Leslie Silver, like I read those so quickly, and it's about a ranch and like hot cowboys, which is weird for me to like because I don't like country music, but um
Gotta give it a chance. You gotta give
no,
it.
I'm not.
Why?
I
Why?
don't like it. It's just who I am. I don't like it. I will not be blasting country
Have you
music.
listened to like the more funkier types of country music? Because they have like a hip hop country
No,
overlapish now.
no, I don't
Mm.
like it. Um, there's a show on Netflix that is like so similar to the book series that keeps popping up. I just keep forgetting the name of it, so I will figure that out.
But it's a country series?
Yeah, it's like about a family on a ranch, which is
Oh, is it the My Life with the Walter Boys?
no, I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay. Because that's about like the family on the ranch and the girl comes and the two brothers fight over her.
Is that new?
Ah, maybe like a year ago. They're filming season 2 now.
Yeah, no, I'm annoyed that I can't remember it. I will figure it out. I have to watch it because I love that series, so I'm curious to see if they kind of spoofed it a little bit or took stuff from it. So yeah, that's kind of been my week. Oh yeah, here we go. Ransom Canyon. So I gotta watch that too.
Oh, it stars Fergie's husband, Josh Duhamel.
Are they divorced now?
They got divorced?
I think so.
Wait, Josh Duhamel.
I remember being a little upset because I thought they were, I think they got
They
divorced.
divorced in 2019. Where was I? I guess I live under a rock.
Josh Duhamel is hot.
Yes. We should add him on our older man list.
Yeah, we really should. Wait, before we go into Broadway news, can we talk about that we saw Jordan Fisher in Moulin Rouge?
Yes.
So we got tickets to see Jordan Fisher through the box office for 49 each. And they were partial view. I didn't have that hard of a time seeing,
I had a harder time than you did. I was on the aisle.
but like,
It was that thing on the side that they walk up the spiral staircase. It blocked a lot. But like I was just like leaning towards you and then I was like, all right, enough.
yeah, like if you want to go, I wouldn't say it's not the best seats, but for the price, it's worth it. Like if you don't
It
want to spend that much, like and want to be there,
yeah.
like we were able to see Jordan and everything.
If it's not your first time seeing the show, I think the seats are fine. If it is your first time, I would spend a little bit more to try to get a little bit further in on the rows so you could see the whole stage. 'Cause I feel like the show, like especially with the dancing, like if it's a nice show to see like the whole stage for
Yeah.
because there's so much going on. I thought his breakdown in Act Two was phenomenal. Like
He was insane. Like when
he
he was singing Crazy, he did like an evil laugh. Like and then when serious and like his eyes were crazy. He's just very what's the word I'm looking for? Deliberate in all his actions. Even when he was singing Come with me, come with me, come with me, come with me, whatever. Um he was touching Soleia's like lips very gentle and like touching her face very gently, and you could tell that he's very deliberate in the reason why he chooses to do things, and it really develops the character, and that's what I appreciate about Jordan a lot of the times.
yeah, I think I really felt like he stood out, and I think he did the best he could. I don't know, like Skylar knows this, but I wasn't thrilled with some of the other cast members. I don't know. I felt like in some ways, some of the connections just weren't vibing. Like I believed that Jordan was like a hopeless romantic, and that breakdown, like he couldn't help it. Like he was. obsessed with her. Like he really was like deeply in love with her. I don't know if I felt that same love in return. I also obviously we saw Boy George and you know he did the best he could with but like sometimes it just felt like he was like speaking the lines and not like meaning the lines. And you also couldn't understand him a lot of time when he spoke. Um I felt like another standout though really was Andy Carl
Oh my
as
God,
the
he was so
Duke.
good.
He was phenomenal and like he was terrifying. Like you were this was at least for me, this was the first time I really felt like scared of the Duke and what he could possibly be capable of.
Yeah.
Like in the past, he always just felt like, like a little pretty boy. But here
Mhm.
he felt like, oh, this guy's like, he's a villain. He's a terror.
Going back on Boy George real quick, I was explaining it to someone. I said it felt like he was just standing there, like anxiously waiting for his next line. Like that's all he
Mm.
was doing. Like he was kind of just standing there being like, okay, you're gonna say this. Okay, now I say this. You didn't feel the f almost fatherly love that Harold has for Satine in the other Harolds we've seen.
Mm.
Um, he kind of was just there. And a lot of the
Yeah.
times his voice too wasn't strong enough, especially for Chandelier.
Oh, yeah, you
He
could
just
tell the
couldn't sing
ensemble
it.
was trying to cover him. Um, Also, I thought Saleha had some like really beautiful moments in the show. Like I loved Firework. I thought that was beautiful. But, I don't know. Somehow, I mean, I know they did Hades Town together, and I think because she was in flats, like the height there wasn't an issue. But somehow, because she was in high heels, like during the show, and we went with one of our other friends, and like I know she felt a little similarly. I just felt like Jordan, he's like looking up at her the whole show, like 'cause she is taller than him in the heels. And I know there's real couples like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a part of everyday life. But somehow it just felt unrealistic to me. Like our friend said, like it felt like it was like a child, like looking up at like a woman he finds beautiful. And I don't know. I mean, I felt like there were moments where I really could feel the love between them, but also I think that kept taking me out of the story a little bit.
Mm.
And I felt like their chemistry wasn't as strong in this show as it was with Hades Town, which I thought would be opposite because now they've had more history together as partners.
Well, the thing is, we
So
can't really say that because we didn't see Hades Sound, so
yeah,
we
but
don't
we've
know.
seen but we've seen so many clips online. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't I mean, well maybe if we saw the whole show we'd feel differently, but somehow I just didn't feel the love between them during the whole thing. I felt like he loved her. I didn't feel like she loved him. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. Maybe it's her take on Satine too, and like
Hmm.
compared to like JoJo or I saw her understudy with John Cardoza, and they to me like I was so captivated when watching it.
Hmm.
Because
I
I
saw
felt the love between them that was insane.
yeah.
It might be just her take of Satine that we don't like. Um, it might be because she thinks Satine is like so cold and Satine doesn't think she's worthy of love in that way. And then at the end, she realizes it when she's about to die. That's kind of how I feel. I think she analyzed Satine compared to other ones.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's a way to take it. It's definitely a way to take it. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it was really as for me, for at least for me, I don't know if it was as much as her the way she interpreted Satine, because I liked the coldness that she added to Satine, and I liked at the end like where she really like stood up for herself. But I don't know. For some reason I can't get over the height difference. I saw yesterday on TikTok that her understudy went on. I don't remember
Yeah,
the name of the understudy, but she went
that's the
on
one we
with
saw.
Jordan, and she's shorter than Jordan. And somehow the coupling looked more realistic to me. Like even just like from the bows, I was like this, I feel like I would have loved to have seen their love story together. Like somehow it just felt more romantic, more like a fairy tale almost.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
It
don't know.
wasn't the height for me. It was a little bit, but it wasn't like to the effect that you're saying. So I guess I don't agree
Yeah.
with that.
Okay.
Um,
Which is fine.
I just think maybe it's just the way that they interpret the characters was very different, and then it didn't connect at the end.
Yeah.
The height was weird, but like it also, I didn't like during the show, I wasn't really thinking about it as much as probably other people were.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with theater. Everyone interprets it differently.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I
I don't
mean?
know.
I
But
don't.
it was really cool to see him. Like I'm really glad because he's just incredible. And I think people who are saying like I saw a video where they're like, is Jordan Fisher actually good or is everyone just obsessed with him? And I don't agree with that. I think his talent is so insane that he's able to do all these roles in a way because he cares so much about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he's really phenomenal, and I would say it's worth going while he's in right now just to see his Act Two breakdown.
yeah. So that
Um,
was cool.
yeah, the progression of that breakdown is insane.
And he did a
Um,
lot of different choices as Christian, like vocal choices, which was
mhm.
interesting to see.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know, it's always interesting to me when shows allow all these different vocal choices because I know for like Wicked, for example, like the Elphaba, like you have to stick to certain choices or like they'll like write you up, like you'll get like kicked out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like
silly
they
to
get
me.
like they get yelled at if they try to go a little more unique.
That's silly because everybody, it shouldn't be carbon copies. I think that's why we like it because we like seeing different people in the roles and how they do it differently. Like the
Mhm.
difference between Joshua Boone and Alex. Like it's interesting to see their take on Dally or their take on like that's why we like going to see the same shows.
Mhm.
So it's weird to me that the I guess because Wicked is Wicked, but
They
I don't know.
want carbon copies.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Um, okay, so as we said earlier this week, the Tony Award nominations came out. And we definitely have a lot of thoughts
Yeah,
regarding everything. What was crazy is that I think there were about 13 shows that got snubbed. They didn't get nominated for anything. Um, some shows only got like one or two nominations. Like I saw, I think Smash only got one nomination. Brooks
yeah,
got nominated for his role, but like Real Women Have Curves only got two nominations. Boop got less than I thought it was gonna get.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I personally don't agree with all the nominations for this season.
So we're just gonna give you our quick thoughts, but we still have some shows that we need to see before we give our full
Yeah.
Tony nomination. So give us a little bit because we still have to see like Dead Outlaw, Operation Mincemeat. We still have to see Smash. So we want to make sure that we're being fair. But I remember when it came out, we were both like, what the heck? The new musical nominations. Why isn't Boop in there?
I was shocked that Boop isn't in there because Boop was really fantastic. It was true Broadway. It
Yep,
was entertaining. I thought the ensemble was one of like the best ensembles that I've seen this season.
definitely.
And I just can't understand it. I mean, I've heard, like you said, we have to see the other shows. Like I heard Buena Vista is supposed to be amazing.
Yeah.
Mincemeat, obviously, everyone's like been loving it. Dead Outlaw, I've been hearing iffy things about, but at the same time, I want to make our own opinion.
Yeah.
So we need to finish seeing the shows. But
But we are a little like, and we saw Real Women Have Curves and we were kind of shocked because this story was just like, it covered so many areas so tastefully. So we were shocked to see that that wasn't even nominated.
yeah, I thought that would be nominated for way more. Way
Yeah.
more.
So, Sunset, 7 nominations.
I'm so happy for them. They deserve it.
And to all the haters, haha.
Um, listen, I'm sorry. I mean, we need to finish seeing some things, but I already know off the bat that Tom Francis is getting my vote for
Oh,
best
he
lead actor.
110%.
Yeah, he has my vote, no
110.
matter what. I thought he was incredible, and it was a very well-deserved nomination. I don't know though about best leading actress. I can't
I
decide.
know. I can't.
I think I'm rooting for Jasmine. I want like an underdog story.
Me too. Me too.
Also, the only thing I will say is David Thaxton got snubbed
Yes,
as
he did.
Max. Yeah, because he got nominated and I think he won the Olivier, but they didn't nominate him here.
He's insane as Max.
Yeah.
Like he is so good. So yeah, I agree with that. I'm definitely like nervous about the leading man because like Jeremy Jordan is in there and everybody wants him to win. But if I'm being honest with you, love you, boo, but I don't think he deserves the Tony for that role. I think yeah, Jack Kelly definitely or whatever, sure, but like as Floyd Collins, I don't think so.
I don't think he's gonna get it. It's not a strong show. I keep seeing so many people, not just you. I keep seeing so many people post online that they all think Jeremy deserves a Tony, but not for this role.
Yeah, because it was
So,
definitely
yeah.
not it.
I think his closer competition that he needs to work. I think the one he needs to worry about more is Darren Chris and maybe Happy Ending.
Yeah.
And I will say, even though maybe Happy Ending wasn't our favorite show, Darren Chris was phenomenal.
He
Like the
was,
way he
yeah,
held that robotic stance and the way he spoke, like you really believed he was a robot. Like if he won, I wouldn't be pissed because I think he kind of deserves it too.
yeah, definitely. Everybody's saying Helen got snubbed too. I
Yeah.
was kind of shocked she wasn't there because the hype for maybe Happy Ending has been like increasing like
But you know
all
what?
over.
It reminds me of the Be More Chill hype, where it's hyped among fans, but it's
Okay,
not hyped among like the theater community, like the producers and the people who are the Tony voters.
that makes sense. That makes sense because I keep seeing that all over. And like I thought she was great. I just compared to like Darren Chris and his leading role, it was kind of she was great. I mean, her voice is incredible, but
I thought he stood out more personally.
yeah.
I thought she was great too. Her voice is beautiful.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, when you can only have five nominees and you have Audra, Nicole, you
Yeah.
had Jennifer, Megan, Jasmine, I could kind of understand why she didn't get nominated. And she is young. Like, I definitely think she's
Yeah.
gonna have more opportunities.
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win Best Lead Actress. I'm really rooting for Jasmine, but
Yeah.
I just get a weird feeling it's gonna go to Audra.
Either Audra or Nicole.
Mhm.
Or it could be an outlier and be like Megan or Jennifer. But I don't know. I'm also like every time I go on TikTok, do you see all the Death Becomes Her? That's all it
Yeah.
is. All the
My
bootleg.
whole FYP yesterday especially was a lot of Death Becomes Her. Did you see that they performed yesterday on television and Jennifer dropped the F-bomb by accident?
Yep.
And then you see her in the video and she's like, "Oh, sorry."
My bad. It has to be so hard not to say it.
Well, I mean, she does it like that every night, so I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I guess those are just some of our like
Initial thoughts.
initial thoughts. I mean, I definitely think we're gonna have more. We're gonna do once we see as much as we can. We'll have an episode where we're gonna make our predictions and talk about what we're voting for. And we'll go through every category and then
Yeah.
we'll see who's more accurate.
Yeah, we should definitely like place a bet.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're
Ooh,
gonna align so much.
we are, but I think we'll have a couple differences.
Yeah.
Ooh, what should the bet be?
Well, we said originally it's we pick shows, but like we both like the same shows. So,
We do, but like sometimes we differ. Like you love Moulin Rouge, and for me, I'm like, eh.
or like I think it's a lot of fun. I hate the audience though.
Oh my God,
Hate
the audience was
worst
horrible.
audience. No matter how many times you go, the audience is just terrible.
Yeah, it was like painfully
Annoying.
terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there may be a couple things we differ on. I just get a weird feeling.
Yeah. Like maybe Dead Outlaw. I really want to see that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
manifesting
don't,
that.
but I'm gonna go for the Tony stakes.
I want to see it. I think I don't know. I want to see what the hype is about.
I don't know. Sometimes we have different tastes. Like you love Les Mis, and I'm
Yeah.
like, mm.
But we both agreed on this. Redwood
Which
will be
one?
closing May 18th. The first Tony non-nomination casualty.
Listen, I of course feel bad. You don't want anyone to
It's
be out of a
terrible.
job. There's a lot of people now who are gonna be out of jobs. But the fact that it's closing so soon after the nominations, they're not even waiting till the Tony Awards. Like
Yeah.
that says a lot. I feel like they were counting on Indina getting nominated for Best Lead Actress, and the fact that she didn't and the show got nominated for nothing,
Yeah.
they're like, why even try?
I think the issue with the show is it could have been more if they did it more tastefully. If they
Yeah.
didn't look for the like they were making cheesy jokes and when it wasn't necessary. Like the book had a lot of issues. And unfortunately, it fell flat for a lot of people, especially like there was no intermission. You're kind of just stuck there. Like, and I don't know, we were
I needed it. I
underwhelmed.
needed it. I needed an intermission.
Yeah. So yeah, that's closing May 18th, which is shocking. Not shocking, but like I'm shocked that so like the day after the Tonys they announced.
Yeah. So if you did want to see it, you only have 2 weeks left.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think you have to run, but I know some people will run for Adina. So
yeah,
take that with what you will.
yeah, right.
Um, Dead Outlaw, which was nominated for best musical, Andrew Duran got nominated for best lead actor. They had a surprise drop of the first part of their Broadway cast album. There are 7 songs out now that you can listen to. I'm not listening
Me
because
too.
I
I'm
don't
not.
want to be spoiled.
Yeah, that's what I saw it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not listening until we see it. But I think it's a cool idea. Like they're creating a lot of hype around it. I'm nervous about if we're gonna win the lottery or not. Now that I feel like everybody's gonna be rushing to see it.
Yeah.
So that's I'm a little nervous about that, but
Well, maybe we can
hopefully.
go stop by the box office and see if we can get some like really cheap partial
That's a good
views.
idea.
Um, 'Cause we did pretty well with that with other shows recently.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah.
So that's one big piece of news. They're also releasing a Nicole Scherzinger edition of Sunset Boulevard, the album, which is going to be coming out on vinyl this summer.
Did you see the vinyl?
No, I didn't see the picture of
It's
it.
like her ready for her close up. Like I'm like mimicking it by the way for all of you.
Now, if it was
Yourself.
Tom,
Oh,
I would have instantly been in line.
ordered.
Pre-ordered, done.
They're really milking it a little bit. I'm shocked they're not. I'm shocked that they're not gonna like extend. But I know Kristen Chenoweth's show is going in. But I feel like that show should never be closing in July.
Especially with all the nominations. I mean, it got 7 Tony noms. I'm surprised that it's already like gonna be closing. And I had heard a rumor that they were looking for replacements for Nicole, so I don't know what happened to it.
Do you think they'll move to a different theater?
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case.
What do you think is gonna be in Redwood? I'm curious. It's a
At the
good.
Nederlander?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
We have to look up at some point. I want to go through the list again of shows that are upcoming.
Ragtime, right? Is upcoming.
Yeah. Ragtime, I think, needs to go where Floyd Collins is.
Oh yeah. Oh
That should
yeah,
be the
it
Lincoln
is.
Center.
Sorry, it is. It was already
Oh, okay,
closed.
good. Look
Now
at
it makes
me.
sense.
Look at me picking the right theater.
That makes sense. So Cola Scola is the first non-binary nominee for Best Play,
Bravo,
leading actor in a
bravo.
play. We need to see Oh Mary Bad.
I really want to get into Oh Mary, and I don't know how we're gonna get in for that unless we do the rush.
Well, people, what's crazy to me is the what is the digital rush on telecharge? How much was it?
It was
Like
over a
179?
hundred, but it was like cancel. It wasn't really a rush. It was cancellation tickets again, like similar to Outsiders.
Yeah. And we were like, huh?
Yeah.
It's expensive. Um, so you know that Hugh Jackman is opening like a theater company that's going to be more accessible for people and there's like $35 tickets, rushes on I believe it's Today Ticks or in person on the box office. So he's making it more accessible. And the first show that they're performing there is sexual misconduct of the middle classes. And it's about like a high school teacher who kind of look at this these
Wait, I'm confused. Hugh Jackman's opening this theater company? I never heard of
yeah,
that.
yeah, he opened a theater.
He opened, oh, like a theater company or a theater?
It's a theater, but it's a theater company. And it's making it more accessible, so it's cheap.
Oh,
Sorry, I sneezed during that. What I was saying is it's a teacher who kind of is gross and goes towards a student. That's what the play
mm,
is about. So I'm
spicy.
I'm curious to see it. It just opened. It's a limited run through June 18th. But I really love that he is making it more accessible and cheaper because you have like Othello that's like $800 and stars huge movie stars and whatever, and he's starring in it and he's making it like $35.
Interesting. I didn't know he started that.
Yeah, he's I remember it was in our news a while ago and now it's officially like opening. Just like
Nice. Well, I'm up for going. I think it'd be
yeah,
interesting to see
definitely.
that.
I think we should add it to our list. Especially like $35. Like
Hmm.
that's great.
I
And it's
think we need
no
to
crime.
prioritize seeing the Broadway show, like nominated ones,
No, yeah.
but then we can go to this over the summer.
Yeah, it's just I just really like that because he could be charging an absurd amount of money.
Yeah.
And
Like he's charging for the Radio City concerts.
yeah, like that's what I'm confused. But maybe it's because he doesn't have control over that.
Yeah, it's probably Radio City.
And he has control over this and he's doing the right thing.
Well, I think that's really all our Broadway news for this week because we had other stuff we really wanted to yap about.
Yeah, it was a good week
Um,
for Broadway.
Very good week. So I guess it's time for us to move on to our show review of the week, which is Real Women Have Curves. Like I said earlier, we're not going to do it as our usual setup with all like the ratings and everything because I think the show deserves better than
Yeah,
that.
honestly.
We were so blown away by the show. But so I don't want to give spoilers, but just to kind of give a quick little summary, it is about the Garcia family, Ana, Carmen, Estela, and Raul.
Hmm.
And it's about their life in 1987 in California. I believe they're in Los Angeles, if I'm remembering correctly. And Raul, Carmen, and Estela are all um, technically, illegal immigrants. They came over to the country for a better life, but, they're not registered citizens. But Anna is, she was born here in the USA, so that puts a lot of pressure on her for her family because, for example, she always has to write out their checks. She always has to have everything under her name. And she's always trying to protect them from getting taken away.
Yeah,
And so Estella runs this factory to create women's dresses, and she gets a call from Mrs. White ordering 200 dresses in 3 weeks,
which is
which
all
is
they do it by hand,
crazy. It's
which is
all by
crazy.
hand, all by hand. And they have a small factory consisting of about five other women. There's Rosalie, there's Pancha, there's Itzel, who is a new immigrant from Guatemala. There's Prima Flaca, and there's Prima Fulvia. So Estella's really trying to run this factory, figure out what they can do to stay under the radar. Almost all of them are illegal immigrants, but
Yeah,
while also getting this order fulfilled. But at
yeah,
the same time, Anna, who just graduated high school, she is a writer, she's a journalist. Her mom wants her to work in the factory, but she really wants to go off to Columbia University, which she received a full scholarship to pursue her journalism career.
yeah,
So her mom says that you have to work here in the factory while also working as a journalist and interning over the summer, which she does. It's all a juggling act. She's trying to find the balance of everything. And at the same time, she becomes very good friends with Itzel, who is the woman who recently came from Guatemala. They develop a very close friendship, and at the same time, Anna also meets Henry, who also works at her internship, and they start having some crushes on each other. So it's a little bit of a love story intertwined as well. Um, there is a big moment where someone, I won't say who, ends up getting
Mhm.
taken away by the immigration authorities. And then Anna's on a journey to get them back, while also on a journey of self-discovery and trying to save that from possibly happening to her family. And also at the same time, she's trying to figure out her relationship with her mother. Her mother's trying to figure out how to let her daughters fly from the nest and be on their own. And it's a very relatable story. It's very much this day and age, even though it takes place in 1987.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone will find someone to, or some story to connect with throughout the show.
And they did it in such like a tasteful way. Like they made you laugh, they made you cry, and then they made you think at the end.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Yeah.
amazing. They did everything, just everything connected in the end. There wasn't any plot holes. There was like everything made sense.
The whole thing made sense. Is there anything else you would add to the synopsis? I think I got most of it.
No, that's good without giving away
Yeah.
much. I think what's important is I'm still singing the songs in my head to this day, and it's been 2 days
Mhm.
since we seen it.
Yeah. And I will say it got nominated for Best Score at the Tonys.
As it should.
It got nominated for two. It got nominated for Best Featured Actress in a Musical. Justina Machado got nominated for that for her role as Carmen, the mother, who is, oh my God, she really was the standout in the show. Like the amount of one-liners she had was brilliant. But then also it got nominated for Best Original Score, and the score is gorgeous. The way they mix in the mariachi music in the
Mm-hmm.
background, while also, you know, kind of you got the 1980 vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
But also every song had a purpose, every song had a meaning, every song was inviting. You could hum along to it. The
Yeah.
lines were memorable. Like I'm also still singing it days later. I'm just like waiting for a cast recording now.
And I will say, everybody on that stage, you felt that they were the characters that they were portraying. There was no moment where we're like, huh? Like, what's going on? You felt every emotion that those actors were putting out, especially Carmen. At one point, she was like sobbing because
Hmm.
she's about to lose her daughter. And like, you felt that motherly instinct that she had as an audience member. You
Hmm.
felt it for Estella too. Like
Yeah,
when she had her big number,
you felt
like
a lot of
really,
sympathy for all of them in different ways.
yeah, you could tell that they were also, I don't know. I went home and I was like thinking about it at the fact that a lot of them it's their Broadway debuts, and you could tell that they genuinely care so much about this show.
Hmm.
Like sometimes we go like Moulin Rouge, sometimes maybe like Boy George, let's say. I'm not saying he doesn't care, but he doesn't become the character or he doesn't put the all because he's a big name or whatever. But these actresses on this stage put everything. And I was extremely like grateful for that because you could tell they cared so deeply about this story and they wanted it to hit home for the audience members and they did such a great job.
Yeah. And I feel like no matter what age you are, there is someone to relate to in the
Yeah.
show. Like the younger audience would really relate to Anna wanting to go be free, wanting to go to college, wanting to explore your own dreams, but also not having the pressure of like your family always relying on you. And then maybe people like around our age connect more with Estella because Estella's, she's like in her late 20s, early 30s. She's really focusing on trying to build her career while she's also getting pressure from her parents that like she's never gonna marry. They always kind of give
Yeah.
like little digs. But also she's trying to better herself and lead a business and just trying to make some sort of a good life for herself because she had some struggles growing up as a child. It's interesting and even like for the parents, there's a big beautiful number where the two of them are just like enjoying life and dancing together and talking about the what it's going to be like when they're officially, hopefully retired and like their children fly the nest. And,
Yeah.
also it's just like reenacting like when they were younger and they fell in love. Like I feel like no matter who you are, there is a place for you somewhere in this show. Like I felt like even though, my family is not of the same culture, I felt like I saw a lot of my family on
Yeah.
the stage. Like at one point, Scott and I at the end of the show, we turned to each other and both of us were sobbing, like
Yeah.
actually sobbing
Yeah.
because like we felt so connected.
Definitely. And I think even that number between Carmen and her husband, Raul, right?
Hmm.
Um they talked about how you're when you're married to someone for so long, you have kids, you might forget about each other a little bit and the needs of each other. And they were discussing like I don't you feel like a stranger and then somehow they come back together. And I think
Hmm.
everyone can see that even if you're not married to someone, but if you're with someone for a while, that when you kind of just fall stagnant in the relationship
Yeah. But you
and
know what
like
I also
wanting to
love?
work about it.
You know what I also loved? I loved seeing that part of the relationship journey, but I also loved seeing new love when
Yeah.
between Anna and Henry. So we also saw Henry's understudy, we should say. We saw
Yes.
Quincy Hampton, who was phenomenal. It was
Oh my
his debut
God.
as a principal. You would never know. Like we had to double check during intermission that he was the understudy because we were just stunned and blown away from him.
You know what I
Um,
found out? He was told that day, like that morning, that he was going on.
yeah, yeah, he mentioned it at the stage door. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
But
I
oh, that's when you heard it.
yeah.
He was phenomenal. But it was so beautiful seeing that journey of, you hate each other a little bit at first. You play the game. All of a sudden, you want to ask each other out. Anna's also she deals with a lot of body positive. Her and her sister deal with a lot of body positivity issues throughout the show. Their mom makes a lot of comments about their weight.
Yeah.
And they're ashamed of their bodies, but then they both learn over time to be proud of their bodies, proud of who they are. And
Yeah.
she's like proud to show off her body to Henry. You see them, doing a little something something. Um, but like even I loved their number where they're sitting in the Mexican restaurant
Hmm.
and all of a sudden they're like, I feel like I've known you forever, even though this is the first date. And it's that journey of what it feels like when you first like really like fall in love with someone. It kind of you
Yeah,
catch
it
someone's
shocks you.
eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so beautifully done.
It was amazing. And like, I don't know, we were so captivated. Like, there was probably people talking in the audience, but we heard nothing. We
Nothing.
were so invested. And I remember at intermission, we looked at each other because something happens at the end of Act One, and we looked at each other like, I'm so stressed out. Like we felt so deeply for these characters that we were like so scared what was gonna happen next to them because we don't
Mhm.
want to see them fall or see them get hurt
Yeah,
or anything. And I feel like we haven't felt that so since like probably The Outsiders when we saw it the first time, where we
yeah,
felt so deeply in love with characters like this, where we were like, oh my God, like I'm so nervous to see how this is gonna end because I want them to live a successful life.
yeah. It was like almost like I don't know, during intermission, it almost was a little heartbreaking. We were like, oh my God, like I'm stressed. I
Yeah.
was full on stressed.
Yeah, like we both looked at each other and were like, I'm so nervous. Like, what is gonna happen? And
Yeah.
again, like they really like connected all the storylines. And at the end, the ending number, I think both got us. That's when we were like crying because like
Mhm.
the way that they wrapped it up was so beautiful
Beautiful.
and so hopeful for a better
Mhm.
future.
I think my favorite numbers were that, and also I really loved the number, the real woman have curves, which I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people have heard online. I did not expect for them to just like strip everything off and show you saw
Spoiler,
every
spoiler.
spoiler, but you saw listen, you saw every curve, every roll, every muffin top. Like I don't know, I just found it to be so what's the right word?
Empowering.
Inspirational, empowering. Like to be proud of your body, not to be afraid to show it off. I mean, like I was thinking to myself, you know what, if they could do this on a Broadway stage in front of thousands of people every night, then
Yeah.
like we should never feel ashamed of what we look like. You know what? Like I just found it to be so, like you said, empowering. Like, I don't know. I found it very healing in a weird
Yeah.
way.
It was very that's what like they covered so many topics and just did it in such a way that everyone could relate. And sometimes like I know Anna was like her mom said something about bathing suit and she's like, well, why can't I wear a bathing suit?
Hmm.
Like, and I think we all growing up, no matter what we look like, you still have like body dysmorphia or some body image issues. And they really kind of showed the audience that like why are we doing that to ourselves, like why
Yeah.
should we care? I'm hot, I'm because they were sweating, so I'm going to take my shirt off. And if you don't
Yeah.
like what you see, it's natural, it's a
And
body.
I think every woman, no matter what size or shape you are, has been told, "Oh, you don't look good in that clothing" at one point in their life. So I don't like that dress on you. I don't like those pants on you. I don't like that bathing suit on you. You shouldn't wear that. Like you said,
Yeah.
everyone has body dysmorphia. Um, like I could count, oh my God, the numerous times I've been told stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like it plays with your mind. And even just, like leaning back to like magazines and how people are portrayed and celebrities and stuff. Like everyone should be proud of their body, no matter what size, shape, or color you are. And I loved that message in this show.
Well, especially because of the age of Ozempic. It's
Yeah,
disgusting. I'm sorry, I'm going to put it out there. It's disgusting to me that everybody's posting that they're taking these pills or
just
getting
to
these
lose
shots
weight.
just to lose weight. No, that's not,
The medicine was created for diabetics. Unless you have diabetes,
you
I
should not
don't
be
think you
taking
should
it.
be on it.
No, it's sick to me. And it's sick to me that people are just doing it to do it almost. And you don't know the
Mhm.
effects it's going to have on you in 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me upset because you have little girls growing up. And like I see it in my class where it's like you're going to teach them that they should be ashamed and that they should take pills or not eat a cookie or not do the X, Y, and Z. Like I had a kid in my class say once, like she had, we were giving out cookies for snack and she's like, oh, my dad would be said I'm getting fat. And I was like, absolutely not.
A 4-year-old?
Yeah, that's what's sick to me. And I remember I said to her, no, you could eat two cookies. You're four. Enjoy it. Like,
Enjoy it while you're young.
exactly. So that's what scares me about the future is, and I think relating back to Real Women Have Curves, I just love that they put this into the show, especially during the age of Ozempic and the age of
Mhm.
you, everything has to be organic, everything has to be balanced and X, Y, and Z. Like, it's so important to remember that your body is your body.
Mhm.
Like, why are we trying to change our body to fit societal norms?
It's very true. I don't know. I mean, I said this to you after the show. I felt like I really needed this show. And I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of people who would feel the same way.
Yeah.
I was so emotional for like a few hours after we left. Like I kept
Yeah.
getting all teary-eyed. I was like, I didn't realize how much I needed this.
Yeah. And that's why I'm shocked that they weren't nominated for Best New Musical because it is life changing. Like we left and we
Hmm.
looked at each other and like this is what theater is all about. And we
Hmm.
haven't felt that in a long time.
What was also beautiful in the show was even just, I mean, there was a lot of family, but even that showed the power of friendship between women
Yeah.
was beautiful, that these women would go to any heights for each other. Like Anna went out in the middle of the night hunting for her friend after she got taken by the immigration police.
Yeah.
Like it's like the things that they would do for each other also just was so meaningful, and
Mm.
like that they all would come in early to help Estella finish the dresses, and that they
Yeah.
they all also those they all give their money back to Estella, and they're like, you pursue your dreams, you get your citizenship. Like
Yeah.
it was so moving.
It really was. It was like it was so empowering. Like really when you think about it. Because when they gave the money back to her, I was like, oh my God, because you know that they're all struggling, but they decided that they want to help her. And that's how you know that they're so
Yeah,
selfless.
selfless, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's true. And you know what I liked? I liked that there were the love stories, but I loved that they weren't like in the prime spotlight.
Yes.
Like, I love that they supported the main themes and the main focus of the show. Like, I like that the whole love story with Henry really led up to her being comfortable
Yeah.
to be, in her bra and
Naked.
underwear, being
Yeah.
naked in front of him. And there's even a specific part where she's like, leave the lights on. I want you to see me.
Oh, I
And he's
love that.
accepting of that. That part got me. I had such chills.
Because a lot of the time people turn the lights off or told to turn the lights off because you don't want someone to really see. I don't know, it's so empowering. Like this show, I want to go again.
Yeah, I do too.
And Tati,
Oh my
oh
God.
my God. Oh
Besides
my
the fact that
God.
she is so sweet, we had a great conversation with her after the show.
Yeah.
Her voice is outstanding, and I really think she's going to be going places in the
And
theater
her
industry.
acting too. The fact that he was an understudy, you know that they probably didn't have a lot of rehearsals, but their
Yeah.
connection was so it was so realistic.
hmm
And that's how you know that they're both amazing actors.
hmm I felt like, I think what it is too, I felt so invested in the story the whole time. Like there was never a moment where I was like, what time is it?
Yeah.
Or like I wonder, like, will there be traffic when we go home? Like I just didn't want to leave.
Yeah. It went by so quickly. And I loved Estella's number where she was talking
Oh,
about
it was
all her
beautiful.
dreams and the dresses and how she wants to be like this big designer.
hmm
I just it just gives you hope.
Also, it does. And also, I didn't expect the show to be so funny. There were so many
Oh,
funny lines. There's
yes.
even a whole number about menopause and like the fights women have with their period. And I was like, girl,
But
I
that
relate with
that
those
song
period
was
struggles.
so important. I didn't think about it till after because Carmen at the end is like really like mourning the
hmm
identity of being a mother and like what does it mean when my kids are grown up and they leave and they don't
hmm
really need me as much as they did. And her
hmm
losing her period is so like important in that mourning process. I didn't
hmm
realize that until after. I was like, oh, that was perfection. They really figured out that yeah, menopause is a start and then after your kids leave and whatever, and you're like, what do I do now?
Yeah. But it's also that, your menstrual cycle is really what makes you a woman. That was also kind
Yeah,
of what the number was about. Because if you think about it, like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of difference between men and women, but a big difference is that women can bear children
yeah.
and have period cycles and men can't, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, and it was like this is something that bonds us all together. It is something that every single woman can relate to with one another because we all deal with it every month. It's a pain in the ass
Yep.
and it's something we all can relate on. Think about it. It's something that men, will never really understand that really bonds women together is that we get this every month.
And it's not fair.
Not fair.
Not at all.
Something else I feel like we should talk about was how beautiful the sets were.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the show had an amazing set design. The colors were bright, they were inviting. They used a lot of like Latino and Mexican motifs. Like when you walk in, you see it all along the stage, as
Yeah.
a backdrop. I thought that was beautiful. I thought the way they did the scene where they are on the roof was gorgeous. Like with the backdrop, and they used projections like to show like a bird flying, but it was done in a
Tastefully.
tasteful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it also like helps so much in understanding like where you were. Like you were in the
hmm
home, you were in the factory. The lighting was different in the factory because the lights go off, they lose power a lot of the times.
Mhm.
Um, but even like in like Henry's bedroom too. Like
Mhm.
it made you understand where you were in the story. And I think a lot of those shows we've seen lately are very minimalistic in that way.
Yeah.
And it takes you out of it a little bit. And this is
Mhm.
just like they did it like amazingly.
Yeah. It's true. Like, I'm sorry, but sometimes you really need a set. Like when
Yep.
we went to our town, I really felt like we needed a set. Like I could not keep up with where we were at all. Um,
And then mimicking the like cooking too. I was like, just give them a pot.
Give them a pot, give them a bowl to hold, a
Yeah.
mixing bowl. I just, you know, I feel like only certain shows could be done minimalistic. I think it works for Sunset. But I just felt like it didn't work for other shows. But I do feel like this show in particular really, really needed the set, or I think you would have been lost. And I just thought the set was done so beautifully. The set was designed by
Yep.
Arnolfo Maldonado. And I just thought it was so beautiful, and I really loved how inviting and colorful it was. Also, so it was directed by Sergio Trujillo. I
Mhm.
hope I pronounced that right. And he also choreographed it as well. We saw Sergio at Broadway
Yes.
Con. He is so passionate about that show, and you could see that come out.
Yeah, that's why I was so excited to see it because Broadway Con hyped us up for it. And I was
Hmm.
hoping it would live up to the expectations that we felt, and it exceeded it. Because they
Yeah.
were, even the panel we sat on, um, it was the composer, right? He wrote
Um,
it.
yeah, it was Benjamin Velez.
Yes, you could tell how passionate he was in creating the songs and that they took the time to really understand the characters and the flow of the story.
Mhm.
It was just incredible. It
It
was
was
so cool to
incredible.
see it come to life after hearing about it.
Yeah. And it is based on a movie. So now I feel like I want to go watch the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I never seen the movie.
Yeah, so I feel like we gotta watch it now. Which
It
you know
was
what's
really
interesting? I
good.
know the movie stars America Ferrera
Yeah.
as Anna, and it was interesting. In certain moments I felt like Tati even sounded like her.
Yeah, right?
I heard in her voice, I was like thinking to myself, like, I definitely see why they casted her.
Can we talk about her pants and how much I want them? The
Oh
jeans?
my God. So the costumes were done by Wilbert Gonzalez and Paloma Young. They
Oh,
have such beautiful taste.
oh my God.
Those pants I need.
And I
With the
want the like,
flowers down the sides.
yes, and I want the crocheted yellow top that she was wearing
Oh
so
my God.
badly.
But also I loved how flattering it was. Like on everyone's outfits made sense for the characters. They were beautiful, they were flattering, but I
Yeah.
also love that every outfit really showed off their curves and like their
Yeah.
natural like beauty. Like it needed it. Like ugh, it was just,
Yeah, we gotta find pants like that. Maybe Shein has it, I'm thinking.
oh, I love my Sheen.
Yeah, because those were so cool. So cool.
Hmm.
And I will say the ambiance was 10 out of 10. You walked in and you were transported into the show.
Well, they were playing already, like when you walked in, they were playing like Latino music. Like it
Yeah.
was like a lot of Latin flair. And it was just like, ooh, take me. Like, ugh, I was
Yeah, it was
jamming.
so good. It was so good. So,
Oh, I also loved, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no,
I
yeah.
also loved with talk about ambiance that there was a pre-show announcement
Oh, yes.
which was made, which shows like hardly ever do anymore. And oh my God, it was perfect and they did it tastefully. And also they did another pre-show announcement before
Yep.
the start of the second act. Thank you, whoever made that decision,
Such a good
because
idea.
brilliant, smart.
Yeah, it was so telling everyone to like shut up their phones, what you can and can't do. Every show needs that. Moulin Rouge, come on, they got to do it.
Oh my God, Mulan really needs it.
Yeah.
Um, it was brilliant. I loved it. I
So
really did.
I think this is a show that we're saying you need to run to.
Run.
Like this is a
Especially
run.
especially because I'm afraid that if they don't win for either of the Tonys they're nominated for, I'm afraid it could close.
Yeah.
So run because it really like they deserve the ticket sales. It's such a moving and beautiful and needed show. And I feel like I could just keep talking about it forever. I really loved it. Like this is like 100 out of 10.
Yeah, it really is. Like this and Boop, I think are
Mhm.
like top shows, like new shows that we've seen recently that
Yeah.
we're recommending. You should just like drop anything and
This
run.
this this show, especially once the album comes out and we can listen to it, it may end up like joining my top 10 shows of all time
Yeah.
list. I really loved it. I don't think I've ever felt so moved.
Right? Oh, did we say that it was a lottery win and that we got front row center somehow?
Oh my God, yeah, that was wild.
Wild. For 2 tickets, nonetheless.
Oh my
Wild.
God. And the view, by the way, front row was fantastic. You saw
Fantastic.
everything. They
Yeah.
really like our necks weren't really bad. Like we were fine. Like if
Yeah.
you could get those seats, you get them.
Yeah. It was so moving, so empowering. Something that Broadway needed.
I'm so
10
happy
out
we
of 10.
saw it. I'm so happy we saw
So
it.
happy.
So I guess we should manifest for this week. Now, this week we already have some things booked.
Yeah.
And the other nights that we don't, I don't think we could do anything anyway. So I think we need to let's see, what do you want to manifest?
Um, hmm.
I want to manifest that at one of the two shows we go to, we see some sort of celebrity in the
Celebrity sighting.
audience. I want to have a celebrity sighting in the audience.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna manifest Operation Mincemeat for one of the other days, but
I don't think we could go the other days. Like, I'm looking at this my schedule, like I think it's really only those 2 days next week. But I do wanna manifest mincemeat at least for the following week because I really want to go to that.
yeah, so I don't know. I have nothing to manifest. I don't think. I don't know. I got nothing.
Nothing.
I don't
There are
know.
things to manifest. Maybe we run into someone outside the theater, like, and we see someone walking in Schubert Alley.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
I have
there's
nothing.
other things.
I have nothing specific, so that's why I don't.
Mhm. I don't know. There's something in me that tells me someone's either going to be in the audience. Like I feel it. Like
Mm,
I for some reason I feel it. I
yeah.
don't feel like they're going to be sitting next to us, but I feel like we're going to see someone from a distance and be like, "Oh my God, look who it is."
Mm. Okay, so we'll just stick with that.
Yeah. And I feel it more for John Proctor than I do for Hadestown,
Yeah.
which are the two shows we're seeing this week, but I'm not going to say when.
Yeah, which I'm excited. Very excited about. I think Hadestown is definitely like my type top show lately.
You
So,
know what I want to manifest? I would like to just manifest that the rain doesn't get in our way this week.
and that it warms up a bit
Yeah,
because
that too.
I don't want it to be cold.
Mhm. Today it's beautiful. Today it's like in the 80s. Oh, I
Yeah, I
love
gotta get
it.
outside.
I got my shorts on and I am thriving.
Oh, really? It's shorts? Well, you're 10 degrees warmer,
That's so true.
which is weird.
I'm at least 10 degrees warmer than you on an everyday
Oh no,
basis.
I mean where you live is 10 degrees warmer, not you.
Oh. Oh, no, but I think me in general too. You're always cold.
As I'm sitting here in a robe.
Yeah, we get on and I'm like, how? What? I thought I was like, are you wearing a sweatshirt? Like, what are you wearing?
Literally.
So I'm sitting here in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little chilly.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's everything for this week. Once again, like always, please follow us on social media. It is very important. We can be found on TikTok at Love Letters to BOA with one Y or on Instagram at Love Letters to BOA with two Ys. Why? Because one Y wasn't available. Also, for any business inquiries, you can reach us at loveletterstobroadway@gmail.com. Once again, it's at loveletterstobroadway@gmail.com. We could be reached 24/7. I don't sleep. I've only been getting like 4 hours of sleep every night this week, and I'm about to mentally break down, but it's fine. Skylar, she gets some sleep. She gets sleep. But she wakes up early, so you'll get her in the mornings.
Yeah, like last night you were texting me. I took NyQuil and I was knocked out by like before 9 p.m. I was done.
Yeah, it was 9:30. I was sending you a bunch of stuff, and I was like, I think she's sleeping already.
Yeah. Well, because honestly, we went back to shows And we were getting home like after midnight, and I have to get up at like 6:30 for work.
Yeah.
So I was like done, and my allergies just murdered me this week.
Mhm.
It was yucky, yucky, yucky. So I was happy that we didn't see any of my like men because I was like, I don't want anybody to see me right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, poor Skylar. She's been struggling all week.
Rip. But yeah, next week we'll see what we talk about.
See what we'll see what happens. And we're getting very close to our 40th episode spectacular. So,
And we're seeing a play this week. So that's different for us.
hmm that's
So
gonna be interesting. We never really do great with plays, but I really feel hopeful about this. I really want to see this one.
it's been getting
So,
such great reviews.
mhm. I
So
I
I'm
think we're gonna
curious
like
there.
it.
I'm very curious. Our
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
So yeah,
Okay, I guess that's it for this
thanks
week,
for
everyone.
listening. Have a
Thank
great week.
you. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.